Hey guys, welcome back to Disco Elysium, and in the snowy day 2, is it still? Of Revachol, or Revachol as I've been calling it. Aranye and Clasia. Okay, I will forget all of those and carry on calling it Revachol, because it's flipping Revachol to me right now. Okay. Okay, what were we on our way to do? Oh yeah, we need to talk to Clasia about the tape and about and about the details about the dead man. 2 signatures for Evra. I'm not happy about doing that. Again, I don't like doing anything for him. Getting hanged man's boots. But he has to be down. Autopsy has to be finished. Kim has to be absent. He wouldn't approve. Ah, right. Okay. So I guess we failed that then, because the body's already gone to the autopsy. Really just want one piece of the armor, you know, find and locate one piece of this, and this one's done. So, sing karaoke. There's a few Monday things that we can do. So we need to remember after 9 o'clock to go to the smoker's apartment or whatever. Oh right, we need to call Alice back as well. Let's do that before we forget. Let's call it the first thing. We'll call Alice back. We'll go talk to Clasia about more things, and then we'll take it from there. In fact, I might talk to the scab leader about the tattoos before we do that. Pull out the radio. First. Serial number. No, and I doubt they'll get back to me before tomorrow morning. Okay, so we must have done that today then. It was about the serial number, wasn't it? Okay. Right, so before tomorrow morning. I'm sure we did that yesterday. Anyway. Okay, we need to talk to Kuno again. Right, we need to do a lot. So, let's go talk to this chap about the tattoos. Then let's go talk to the to Kuno. Then let's there's a lot to do. Yo man, tell me about some tattoos, will you?
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Think you may be able to help me decipher some tattoos? Don't think so, he grunts, barely glancing at it. It was on your colonel, we don't want to do that. We're investigating a murder. These tattoos are on the victim's body. They were on the body of the man who was hanged behind the cafeteria there. Silence. He takes the photo. Grey eyes dart back and forth on the glossy surface. His face is unmoving. Hard as a stone, but beneath it. After a while, he cranes his head side to side and sighs. Effing loincloths really did him in. Loincloths? Yeah. He's clenching his teeth. There is silent pressure behind them. Can you tell me what the tattoo means? Well, it means, he points to the one tiny star in the web of lines away from the man's heart, almost on his stomach, in what must have been Semenine. I could tell you what this one means, only one. He squints at it, it's so small. You want to hear what happened here? Yeah. Our colonel is deep in the bush here. deep in the effing bush in Benatial 41, monsoon season. He's on a reconnaissance mission. Benatal is one of the inhabited islands of the 70s archipelago near the Pale, covered in jungle. It was anchor point for the 70s nationalists in the proxy war held on the island as territory. He spent a month behind enemy lines scouting kit villages. Nothing but effing bugs and snakes for fun. Men are getting restless. There's talk of switching employers. He licks his lips as if drunk suddenly. With some strange emotion, this is about to get really graphic. Last moment to back off. Don't interrupt him. Our boy, he's only a captain then, but he knows how these men think. If they don't see action soon, his voice gets strangely quiet. A long way away from right to work, his gaze pierces the paper. At dawn he comes upon two kits, breeding in the bushes by the river. Or maybe they weren't breeding, maybe they were just making eyes at each other. I like to think they were breeding. We shot the boy, he was useless, but the girl, she was nice, a little fat you know, but not too old. Say nothing. She was quite the entertainment for the week she lasted. Wow. Expired in the hands of Sarge Mason, the kind of guy who'd make chief there. He nods towards the man on the gates. Shit his pants and cry like a bitch. God, he suddenly burst out laughing. Mason couldn't let go. Jeez. Cut the tits off her cold body and effing ate them. Said primitive spirits are watching over him now. Suddenly the laughter stops. Drowned in a creek a week later, spirits my ass. Something stirs in your stomach. You were there? No, I was somewhere else. That's just a guess. As to what this one little star on his belly might mean, I'm just a bouncer. Can I have it back? Go ahead, he turns toward the gate slowly and yells. Alright now, free commerce, keep the goods flowing. On the photo in your hands, the dead man's skin is studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them, littering his dead skin. Are you a mercenary hideout of wild pines? Free flow of commerce, the man yells and wipes his face, sweat is dripping down his brow. Say very quietly, is there a tribunal being convened by any chance? Effing bug, he breathes out slowly, his giant chest deflating and his mouth slightly open. You hear a tiny rattle, small radio crackling somewhere, an earpiece? I'm going to interpret that as a yes, there's a tribunal and it won't be long until it's ready. How about you F off now, huh? Okay, of course, the lieutenant says, his voice is soothing calm. He looks at you. Okay, back off. The man's breathing steadies, but his eyes are still narrow. Slowly, he's trying to get his right to work dance back on. Okay, let's leave. Okay, so that was pretty dark. We didn't gain much information for that. For that ridiculous story, but anyway, I suppose we needed to do it. Did we play that out of his diary? Ask another about tattoos. About the... okay. I thought, yeah, I was a bit bored of the reality questions with Joyce, wasn't I? Let's talk to Kuno again, see what he's got to say.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
Talk to Manana about the armour. So? He raises his eyebrows, projecting aggressive indifference. He said thank you, wasn't too keen on chasing down that ammo anyway. F-okay. Kuno's a giver like that, yes, he looks slightly confused. Kuno sent your fat ass running around like jello. Look pig, he's suddenly all business. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you, that happened. Now you and Kuno should move on. Oh, remember this, Kuno. You got F'd, he repeats. You got F pig. F bad. Of course you're going to remember this. Now get the F out of here, griefing the Kuno. After this, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face. Yeah, real interesting. I don't really... How do we find a way into the secret passage? That's what I want to know. Right, so that was, again, not very fruitful. Is there any new options? I'm intrigued by this call box here. Or the, there's a lot of options. There's not much going on. Let's try this again. Yeah, okay. Okay. You win, dice. Hi, and welcome to the H3 podcast. Tell me how to get into the door, you madmen. Could be connected to the bar door upstairs. Yeah, we... Is there a way to get there from outside? Might be wasting my time here, but I wanna... I'm really curious about this door. Maybe around the front way. Near old racist super racist. Because there's the ruined building up that way, wasn't there? It seems we can't get in that way. We might be able to get in via that shop. That girl might be hiding. Well, maybe not hiding, but maybe she just didn't know. She seems to be one of the more normal characters in the game, the shop worker. I think we tried this before and it didn't work, but let's give it another go. Things may have changed, who knows? Okay, it doesn't seem like it's the kind of door that we can get a key into. You did mention the ruined building to the side, but we can't seem to go anywhere past here, can we? It's not a door that we can... anything. We come out onto the balcony. Nothing. Maybe... No, I'm pretty sure you can only get to one area. You can only... I was thinking the balcony where we spoke with Kim after the after day one, but I'm pretty sure there's nowhere else that leads. It's just one little balcony. We can try it anyway, but nowhere else. Ooh, what's this? Some money. Okay. Fair enough. Helpful. Yeah, we need about 4 more real before the end of the day, don't we? Because we bought the tape player, which I think we needed to buy, but still. Anything more from examining this at this point? No. I've got a cool little musical sting there. It's all about money, you know, he says. Hmm. Okay. Ah, I missed it. Can we go back? She's made around 4 months of payments for the room. Alright, we knew that.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Titus Hardy gave us a recording where the deceased states his intention to commit rape. She puts the coffee cup down, with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table. Did he? A smile flits across her face. I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions, only that he was never bad to me. She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused. On this tape, he specifically identifies you as the target. Where did they get this recording exactly? It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough. She arches her brow. Does he say he's gonna do? Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style? Those are the exact words he used. Yeah, that was practically his pickup line. She picks the cup back up. Memory surfaces in her tired neocortex. It's not entirely unpleasant. Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohai style? Yeah, both of those things were mentioned, weren't they? He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohai. It was in his everything. Why say things like that? Machismo? Yeah, was he bragging? Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things, then integrated them into his idea of normalcy, to keep on living, until they just sort of turned into his, she thinks. What's the word I'm looking for? She's quite observant about the human character, trying to observe even. Coping mechanism? Running joke. I was going to say running joke, and it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way funkier than that. He was like the Seminese conflict, the Kohai massacre, and the 36th famine in Yisa all rolled into one person, then cast in Orangese's ceramic armour, which he wore in bed and in the shower. You like this kind of stuff? We're all scraping up any happiness we can find, officer. Going around with our little scouring sticks. You, your first love, Mr. Kohai here. Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? Here in Martinez, I mean. No, we were too busy laying waste our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed, she thinks. He seemed happy, I guess, at ease, as much as a man like him could be. What kind of man was he? Before you go ask for details, she seems okay to talk about it. Thank you for clearing that up, miss. He turns to you. Whenever you're ready, I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now. She takes a small sip of her coffee and smiles. Now that you've had some time, can you tell us more about the victim? Like, for example, his name? Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely. A nickname? I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that, and it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use. Lelystad, that's a good start. The lieutenant writes it down in his notebook. Then tears out a page and hands it to you. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer. The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink. Everything left to be clarified in the comment on the left. How old was he, miss? He was 42. 42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50. He had many scars that made him appear older, but no, the memory makes her smile. We even celebrated his birthday, like some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me. Right again, officer. The lieutenant taps his blue pen at you as though assigning another point. Points are good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die. His eye colour? Blue. Light blue. They were like... She stops, her eyes half closed, and continues. Like little blue galaxies, you know. It was strange, seeing those eyes in his effed up face. Pardon the swearing, she takes a drag. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly, and he had a beautiful soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak. He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth. Yes, severe. She seems to enjoy the word. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes. Oh yes, the lieutenant suddenly remembers his hair, if you can remember. It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine. Made it oily, not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone. Where is Lelystad, the place I mean? In Orange, officer. It's I think municipality is the term. Nowhere town there. The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary: cows, silos and wheat. Orange's map of waterways. This fits with the tattoo. This means his race was Occidental, which fits the statements of another witness, the lieutenant says, pleased. You were both from Orange? Yes, we were compatriots. Did that bring you two together? No, he was too old for that, and from another part of Orangenric. Yeah. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Orange, it was bad habits. Sex and alcohol, okay. No love for Mother Orange, but wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing. Military man but not a patriot. A military man but not a patriot. No, he left the national service after they taught him to do what he did on Semini. He wasn't the flag-waving kind, he was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man. She takes a long drag of her cigarette, then washes it down with coffee. A people person, a small platoon leader, certainly not a patriot. You don't seem like much of a patriot yourself. She hums. There is nothing on Monday. The old world is dead and we both knew it. Maybe Orange did bring us together in loathing. I love Revicola. She looks around, the wind in her hair. I hope she loves me too. He had a tattoo. What did it mean? Oh, she smiles. That. It was a map of his service history? Sure, service history. It was mostly for showing off to chicks though. Showing off to chicks, how so? How? She leans back. Imagine him lying in bed, freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred of course, tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason. Is this Orange's lit? Don't interrupt. He's smoking and drinking of course, and his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them, maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like she points at the air with her sharp, nailed finger, picking out an imaginary tattoo star. What was this, baby? And he says, she lowers her voice comically. That was too hardcore, don't ask me about that. So she goes, okay, but what's this? And he's like, he saw some bad shit there, killed some loincloths. And so it goes, star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them. You were the woman in this? Oh yeah, she nods. Can you tell us precisely what these mean? No, thank you. She does not take it. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them. She pours herself more coffee. Go on. He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Orange needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer for money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort, then he killed some people in the Seminine Islands, and on other islands too, all of the islands. After this he came to Revacol and got killed himself. Not a very fun story. It is when you're high. It can be very exciting then. You have the tools to deal with it. It's not a very nice story to remember when you're sober, she smiles faintly. Change the topic. I think we're finished with this line of questioning. Alright, the lieutenant puts the slip back in his notes and observes the young woman for a moment. Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee. Let's talk more about this so-called assault. No, let's not. Need to talk to you about your room again. Did she tell us anything about the door? I have no idea, officer. Okay, I think we're done here, aren't we? 3%. We can retry if we fail. She looks back. That time moves slowly, the triangle of her face rearranging into a weary smile. And don't worry, we will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through the reefs and sounds of her persona. We will see through deceits. You are shielded, you are wise. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs, just below the silver jumpsuit. What's happening? Nothing, just time passing, don't worry. Anything out of the ordinary and you would be notified. Air moves in your windpipe, your heart beats, you're a detective, get back to detective. Am I being beguiled? She presses her elbows against her waist and slowly turns her head. Her hair brushes her shoulders, making a small hissing sound, almost imperceptible. There your eyes. The strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than 2.2 seconds. Okay, let's return to this later, miss. So I imagine this is going to give us some physical instrument. So +2 physical instrument and -1 encyclopedia. We've already got quite high encyclopedia, so I think we take the hit of -1 encyclopedia for the +2 physical instrument. Okay. So now we need to talk to Titus. Okay. How do I get to the secret passages? Wait, stop that. Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42? That's what she said, yeah. Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old. Where's this going? How old are you? That's where this is going. 45 litres of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. Is that 45,000 litres? Okay. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them. Miss, how old do you think I am? Huh? She leans in closer. How old do I think you are? She's buying time to formulate the best answer. I don't know. 40? I was like 9 when ostentatious orchestrations peaked. You know, that was what? 19 years ago? I liked them when I was 9. You couldn't have liked it when you were 40. Let's say you were 20 something, 25, a good disco age. 25 plus 19 is 44. I'm going to say you're 44. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I have a university degree, you know. She flicks ash from a cigarette. 44, I'm young. Absolutely, age is just a number, man. Yes, miss, but the lieutenant disagrees. For him, the number is 56. Wait, this requires scientific measurements. Bring it on, I'm not afraid of the truth. To the laboratorium. Is that a new thought that we can get for finding date of birth generator? We don't have any skill points, so we can't learn anything new. Unless... It's interesting how we need skill points to forget something. I'm not a big fan of that. But hey. This is going to tell us we can't enter the door. We do have more physical instrument now. 8% though. Have we got any items that give us more physical instrument? Where have we equipped the pry bar? Yeah, that was going to help, but... You kick it gung-ho style, entering the premises style, but the door fails to respect the force. All you hear is the bar rattling inside, laughing at you. Alright, the woman nods approvingly. Let's trash this place. Let's not. Okay. So with enough physical instrument skill we can get in there. We need more though. Quite a lot more, seeing as though we've only got 8% chance with it where we are. We don't have any skill points as of now, so we have to call it a day on that one for now. Are we going to Kim's room? No, apparently not. I'm just going to check out here. I don't think it leads anywhere, but... Hey. No. Probably put the pry bar away.
It's you again. What is it?
So I talked to Classy about the tape, and he tenses immediately, chest tightens, jaw sets, ready for another blow. And nothing, she stands by what she said. That effing ever, he stares at his beard for 2 seconds intently, then turns to you. You're the worst cops in Revocol. I gave you gold on that tape. That effort wasn't aimed at you, is it? Aimed at her. It was dark stuff, but it didn't prove anything, and it didn't change her mind. Dark? Dark is when you start a goddamn death rock band. He said he'd rape her. Man, I'm having to say lots of things that YouTube's not gonna like. He shakes his head in disbelief. What did she have to say then? Fine by her? This is what people are supposed to be like? Effing whoop-de-doo. Did not come as a surprise to her, and she definitely wasn't scared. Yes, in fact, the lieutenant looks at you, then him. I think she thought it was a little funny. Funny? Titus mumbles, his lips barely moving. No good goddamn psycho, huh? Seems like they wanted to give Classy a second chance to play along. She still didn't. Alright, he slams his giant fist on the doorframe. All effing righty then. I guess it's good then, that effing. Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus. Her voice is a bit softer than earlier. Titus rubs his chin with his palm as if... Woohoo, new skill point, we can use it. Titus rubs his chin with his palm as if trying to grind it smooth. This is just perfect, just effing perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman? You don't have to say everything out loud, just mix and match. I think you had a lie planned, but she didn't play along. Maybe she isn't who you thought she was. Yeah, that's the most vague of them all, I think. Nah, I know her. He looked upstairs, distracted. She's just gurgling over her head. I don't want to say any of those things. Yeah, okay. She's not some helpless girl. She handled the mercenary well enough. Handled him, he balked. She got into some stupid shit with that guy. Shit we had to take care of. Yes, we've heard. We heard all about it, and the fact still stands. You were more disturbed by the tape than her. Be straight with me, Titus. What really happened? I already told you. He puts his giant face in his hands and sighs. We effing hanged him. The man is slowing down. Looks like a bad blood sugar crash. You can't keep track of all the variables anymore. Who could? It's getting harder and harder to perform one's part in this sordid play. All it takes is a nudge. Come on, Titus. It's been a long day. I'm tired of running back and forth between you. See, you're tired too. Why don't you just... You know what? He gets closer. I am tired. Tired of you and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said F off. He throws his beer can down. That lying scamming, we're done. This is over, you understand? Your little investigation is over. Yeah, there's a silence in the room. Elaine starts saying something, then thinks best not to. On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it. What is this quiet funeral shit? What we need is some beers in us. He looks around. Bartender, 20 beers for the dock workers union. Why don't we make it 40, huh? The man shouts from behind the counter. And why don't we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough. 100 beers, now we're talking. Glenn livens up. Hop over the cafeteria manager. The window might be closing. The more beers they get in, the less cooperative they will be. Okay, convinced Titus is being manipulated. Convinced Titus is being manipulated. You should know by now, Titus Hardy will never falter. But you know someone who might. One of his boys will. Fat Angus, the powerful guy, Mr. All Muscle, the time has come. Put him in the pressure cooker. Just remember, it's about more than class here. It's about these men and Martinez, their district, their responsibility. That's it then. Case closed. We're going home, Kim. Huh? The lieutenant raises his brow. He'll get it. Go on. Write it down, Kim. In Martinez, they just kill you because they don't like you. Got it. He takes out his notebook. Kill you because they don't like you. All because you work for the wrong people, because they like killing, because you're a foreigner, because of some chick. Because you work for the wrong people. Goddamn right, this is Union Town. You work for the company, we will kill you. F Dennis, we don't kill you if you work for the company. Half the harbour works for the company. Work for the wrong company, he jots down, and they execute you. They just hang you like in the Dark Ages and make a display of your coat. They club you from behind, string you up, go back to drinking. It's cool, guys. You drag them out back, light the corpses on fire and piss on them. You don't care. Yeah, we'll go for the first. It wasn't that. It wasn't, the fat man says with a wheeze. We just couldn't get him down, okay? That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the... Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up. The old man reaches for his belt, but his voice is strangely calm. Firearm, a Glace 08 or a 38 caliber pistol. Either is small enough for you to have missed. He's onto you. He knows what you try to do. Oh, what? You're gonna kill me like you killed him for no effing reason? What happens if I keep talking? You're not gonna... Look at Kim first. Lieutenant has put down his notebook. His hand is resting on his holster. He gives you an imperceptible nod. Wait, what? What does that mean? What happens if I keep talking? You... Which is which? Theo, it's Angus that we want to pressure. We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when he takes a breath wheezing. Shut up, Angus. He was dead before you hanged him? Fie, the little guy hits Angus on the back of the head, a loud slap. Say one more thing to the cops now. Dennis, Titus roars. Stand down or I'll beat your head in. Theo, he points to the old man. Take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control. does he? His closed fist is shaking. It's you who's in control. Let them have the moment. The room falls quiet. So quiet you can hear Angus wheeze. Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying. I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too effed. He grabs his chest. I'm sorry. Why are you so effing fat, Angus? Lizzie snaps at him. Now it's all pointless because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Tyus. He turns to him. I told you, just give her up. Lizzie, he turns to the fixer. Your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everett. Fine, I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast, she walks off without looking back. You're in. He's all yours. Questions? Whisper, Kim. We did it. So you didn't kill him. He was already dead. He nods. You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. What was it? We're not sure. Probably a bullet. The wound was difficult to see. The coroner and his assistant are wrapped in blue, hands covered in blue gloves, mouths covered by blue masks, bodies by blue aprons. The coroner wipes his brow, scalpel still in hand. Get the light, shine it in his mouth, he tells his assistant. The coroner squats, coroner squats, I would imagine that he's supposed to say, to better see as the light illuminates the darkness inside. Well shit, can't blame them for missing that. Get the saw, Ellen, this just got fun. Why? Because the girls asked us to. They were in some shit. Girls plural? There's another girl? 2 of them? Take a note of this, they'll probably say more about her later. Did she kill him? Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't. What happened Sunday night? Classy came down, he points to the stairs. She seemed really out of it, drugged up, even more than usual, bug-eyed and gurning, you know, not in a fun way. It looked like she'd re-dosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died. How did you know? I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario, only in reverse. Good analogy, boss, the rat-faced man snickers. You don't get to talk yet, Shanky, he points at him. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus, he turns back to you. What happened then? We went upstairs. Sure as day the merc was dead, and there was a bullet hole through the window. Effing, he scratches his chin. Dirty sheets and bottles everywhere. He means they'd been effing. Okay. Tibbs patched the window and the corpse we hanged. Who's Tibbs? The 8th Hardy? Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business. Okay. If Classy didn't kill him, why the cover-up? You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own. She told me some people were after her from Orange. I didn't notice anything. What kind of shit would... okay. Yeah, she wouldn't. She's effed if she knows... if she shows up on police radar. These people, who are they? They're powerful, he looks out the window. Connected to the moral intern, she's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away. That's all he knows, that's all she told him. And why would you help someone like that, by taking on a murder? Why would I, he shrugs. I guess we all abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing. Okay, so who killed the merc then? Any leads? Not yet, just some ideas. She said that the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere, so that's a clue. What are you thinking? I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them, either hers or his. Hers, you mean? I mean the people after Clasia. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her. I like that, the young guy nods. Been thinking the same myself. And you had ideas about his past too? I do. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood probably. Or it could have been someone else from Krenor. He pauses to think. Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do if I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you. His theory's not bad. Don't buy either one, but still. This guy's not as dumb as he looks. Whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Hers? In a manner of speaking. Remember the 2 girls, he may be talking about the other one. Earlier you said the girls asked if, for your help. Was this the other girl? That's right, he blinks. It was her idea to hang him. I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message. It's her, isn't it? The drug trafficker. The missing 8th Hardy. The big guy steps towards you. Fella, you think too much. Ease off, alright. You're gonna hurt your head. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her anyway. You know, it's okay for there to be a Hardy girl, Titus. And so, can you tell me anything about her? His face sets like concrete. He shakes his head solemnly. We're Hardy Boys, and that's it. You're gonna stonewall me if I ask more about her, aren't you? Glad you understand that. I'm sorry I made you guys fight. Me too. Whisper to Kim, we did it. Lieutenant gives a smile, only you can see. Thank you for this, Titus. I'll go talk to her for the last time. You do that. He grabs his beer and swirls it in his hand, then thinks of something. Hey, cop, before you go. He looked up. Class who came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now she refused that protection, but you would still prefer if we didn't take her away. That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers. We'll take that into account. The lieutenant slides his notebook into his coat pocket and turns to leave. Okay. Let's physical instrument, or is that what we needed to bust through the door? Let's not level up until I find out what it was. Chances are we won't be able to do that for some time anyway, but I really want to know what's behind that door, or any of these doors. There's too many doors. What's with all the doors? Let's open this door. Okay.
It's always good to see you.
She cracks a weary smile, leaning back against the railing. The Hardy Boys told us what really happened. I understand. She puts her coffee mug on the table. Just like that, no resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight. You don't look surprised. You were expecting this. I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. She winces. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time. This is good. Clear the air first between you two, then move on to questions. Is it? Something is off here. Shush, I can't hear what she's saying. Let the mist speak. She's tall and thin and tired, a twig trying so hard not to break. If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time? Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. She looked at her feet. Out of the shit I'd gotten into. It's not a good enough reason. You're right. There's more. More? You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern. She really reaches for a new cigarette, briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay into the horizon, golden grey in the noon light. What lies beyond it? The Pale, the Monte Iola, the Occident, and then Aranje, the old world. Is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You've read, what's the RCM's involvement with the Marilyn Turn got to do with this? Yeah, okay. She nods. You share a database with them. You send people to their courts. She lights the cigarette. Is this part of why Orange is a bad memory? It's got something to do with you being Miss Orange. What's going on? What do you do? Yeah, what's going on? What did you do? Just business, but bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will... What happens if they do? They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill. There's a wince and a pained little smile. Well then I'm effed. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me. Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her. What did you do to have these people after you? What happened here the night he died? Why did you call the cops if you hide him? When was the window changed? Point to it. Yeah, what did you do to have these people after you? It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revocol, or even in Orange. What exactly did you do? Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company, the kind you really, really don't F with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting. He taps on his notebook. I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you. The job was Elysium County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're a part of the Elysium conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know, but they're after me too, along with Elysium and their friends in the MI. She breathes out heavily. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive. Elysium. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Eierberg, and the popular Papa Lolo line of dairy products. I'm sure there are people who've done much worse. Serves them right. When I'm king, this savings bank will be first against the wall. You're right. This is bad. You've destroyed what people have built. That's a lot of shit you've got yourself into. It is. Many people lost their jobs. Not just C-suite, ordinary people. What I did to get to accounting. She shakes her head at the thought. A lot of people got hurt, she concludes, but that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder. So why did you call the cops if you hide him? Because I'm an idiot. The answer comes fast, which is an indicator of truth. Idiot, she's nothing of the sort. So you would have us believe, but you're not. You have to understand the people around here. No one was making the call, and he kept rotting, and then they picked his clothes off, and that little effer threw stones at him. Her jaw is clenched, her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to cave in and sob once, just one time. He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. She shakes her head. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Revocol. She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That's impossible. So what happened here the night he died? We were there. She points to the window. The silhouette of the bed is visible. Together. In bed, I mean. Tell me exactly what happened. Okay. She takes a deep breath. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter and turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. She breathes out. A moment's silence. His eyes were looking through at me and his mouth was open, dumb. I could see. Her chest rises and falls with each word. She keeps herself together and says it. I knew he was dead before he fell down on top of me. Then what happened? He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There, she points through the window. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. There's a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her sides. Then she continues. I waited for the second shot to come. For me, I thought there would be one. It never came. She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butter's burned right down to her fingernails. Your cigarette, miss? Oh, she looks at it quickly and tosses the butt aside. I'm sorry this happened to you. So am I. She immediately proceeds to light another one. What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible. 11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight. That's okay, he makes a note. Were you inebriated? Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking. Wait, Titus said she was going in a jar off much more than usual. Titus said you looked pretty high. Oh yeah, she tilts her head. I did one of his lines just to clear my head. Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset. Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this? No. What did you do then? Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not just a lot. I'm sorry, not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there. When it happened, did you hear a gunshot? When he was shot, she thinks, I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding. The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot. Okay. What happened after you ran downstairs? Sylvie was tending the bar. She looks down. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. I wonder if Sylvie is the other girl. But anyway. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. She pauses. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong. Oh, Ruby. Maybe Ruby's the other girl. Before we continue, who's Ruby? Ruby, you know, the leader. The leader of what? The Hardy Boys, she says as if it's self-evident. I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys. Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer. Would you say she is, he looks at you, the 8th Hardy Boy? Why not? Okay, let's go on. What then? When Ruby said, let's talk upstairs, I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation. I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd taken care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower to keep him upright. To mislead you, they were tampering with the body. To produce lividity matching a hanging. Yes. We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death? About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood. You know what it does. She looks at the ground, then measures her light brown eyes to meet yours. Then what did you do? Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lily in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on, his armour too. It was tough. I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew that what they were going to do, make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would. What did you do while they were hanging him? Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while, that we should lay low or something, so I did. This Ruby, where is this Ruby now? Okay, so I don't know, I haven't seen her since. We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys. Interesting, why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later. Could the people after you have killed him? That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break, and I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone. She looks at her cigarette. So they wouldn't be her. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me. Probably didn't. Or I don't know anything anymore. All I do is wait here. She looks at the table. We can't go after Looscap, not yet. There are others saying it leads. I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there. When was the window changed? Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it. She takes a drag. You should have another look at the window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there. In her... Not just now. Did you kill Lily? What? She gathers the last vestiges of her strength. Why did I put myself through this insanity? Get myself cornered like this? There's a silence. The wind picks up. He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me, I know that, but I would never hurt him. All kinds of crazy things happen when drugs are involved. Sweet, sweet drugs. He was a serviceman. He must have had a gun somewhere lying around close to hand. Okay, he must have had a weapon nearby. Did he use that? I specifically asked him not to carry firearms when he was with me. He only had his stupid armour. Drugs were an integral part of your relationship. Perhaps they contributed to its end. What does that mean? Do drugs make you aggressive? No, she shakes her head. People don't take drugs to kill each other, they take them to feel okay with each other. I thought you Revocol people would be more enlightened on this. She pauses. I'm sorry, officer, I'm under some stress here. Downstairs people have this crazy idea that you killed him. I'm sad to hear that. They must have said it in some fit of frustration or under pressure. They couldn't have meant it. I've talked to them after it happened. No one has implicated me. Okay, I'd like you to answer some other questions. I think that's it. She nods silently. She doesn't even smoke, just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. The lieutenant glances at you, then the door. He's thinking, are we done here, or... Need to talk to you about your room again. No. Can try that. No. Okay, guess she's okay. I'll lift again. Looks like this one's not waking up. Okay, they're both locked now. Oh no, that was the wrong thing. No, okay. So there was a prompt about the door. When was it? Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye. Okay. We need to examine the window now. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Okay. The golden light melts away into the blue glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on a single bed. Okay, what position are they in? Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March the 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth. A ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain. Where does it come from? From the roof outside, location A prime. Glass fractures around the bullet hole, shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back. Have a look at point A, the roof. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions. All on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is a composite location, a prime, most likely the origin point. So I'm what, 8% sure the roof is where the shot. He said, shouldn't there be gun residue outside? There could have been. The rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago, so I'm what, 8% sure the roof was. 72%. With a weapon that's good for medium range, like a rifle or sports pistol. This is good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium. A well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies. Could the shot have come from inside the room? A close point. Are there any arguments against A prime the roof? Could there have been another point of origin further away? Before we conclude, let's ask the... are there arguments against? None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. Could the shot have come from inside the room, a closer point? Well, no, because the glass is broken, so yeah. That's 28% yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez? Extrapolate the radius to include all of Martinez. According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime, more precisely. B is for boardwalk, B for Land's End, and B for the islet, detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on. Okay. Have a look at point B, the boardwalk. 700 meters away, the likeliest of the B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have to take wind direction into account. Point B, Land's End. 1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions, let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched. Point B, the islet. 1 kilometer away, a point beyond the docks on an islet in the bay. The fort is ruined, but the perpetrator may have found a stable spot on the beaches surrounding it, where the concrete crumbles into the sea, as you saw in the coin-operated viewer. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable. Okay. Kim, do you think the shot could have come from further than the roof, in Martinez? From where precisely? Let's say B prime, B double prime, B triple prime. I see you've given this a lot of thought, he remarks, raising an eyebrow. Are those locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance? Much less than the roof, but still. Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down to the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. A simple hypothesis can be wrong, but it's something to build on. Inspect the ghostly figures. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization. Blink. Okay. Interesting. Okay. The pacing. Oh, in fact, before we go down there, the pacing of this game is fantastic. The way that the mystery is just kind of slowly unraveling, like bit by bit. Sometimes it feels like you're just kind of pulling at straws, and then you get a big reveal or something. But it feels like it's just drip feeding you tiny little pieces of information. It must be quite similar to what it actually feels like to be investigating something. Okay, what is it that we need to get through the door? I forget. Is it physical instrument? Yeah, okay. So can we level that up more? We can. Okay. Let's go. 17%. Okay. Right. Let's cheat. Save game. I really want to know what's behind this door. Come on. And a fail. We will get it eventually. Just a matter of time. So this is the place in the middle of the bay. That was on the loading screen there. Interesting. If they've made a screen of it, I'm thinking that might actually be where the shot came from. Sorry to bore you with doing this over and over again, but I'm sure you guys are as interested in what's behind this door as I am. If it was a shooter from the roof, this could be a potential escape route, you know. Or the way they got up there in the first place. So it could be a lead as into who made the shot. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. We can buy a book to pass the time. Oh, there was the bench as well. We could rest on the bench if we need to pass time. Okay. Although it does seem like we've always got something to do, so we haven't needed to pass any time. Come on. We'll give it 2 more goes, and then we'll just have to call it fate, and we'll have to do it later when we've maybe found some more clothes that allow us to up the skill more, or maybe a thought that allows us to have more skill in that. So I don't think we can level it up anymore. And I can't think of any other way that we're going to game. Unless we can get into it from the dilapidated side, but I'm sure we've checked that area quite a bit last time. Come on. Yep. Come on. Ah. Okay. Right, okay, so I think we're I think that's probably a good place to leave it for today. We've found out a lot more about actually what happened on the night, and we've got more stuff to do. We're getting into the evening time of day 2 now. We need to find a bit more money so we can stay another night, and I must remember in the next episode, well, I'm assuming it'll be in the next episode, to check where that guy is after 9 o'clock. The guy on the balcony that was smoking. We need to question him. So yeah, interesting stuff. All very interesting stuff. So thanks for joining us, and I'll see you in the next episode. Alright, bye.